Did you pull out anything cool from that?
The main note was definitely blackberry.
The schnozberries taste like schnozberries.
The strawberries taste like strawberries. The snozberries taste like snozberries.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the next episode of Hazel's Flight School. I'm Lily Margolis,
And I'm Maximilian Girardin.
and today we're talking about fruit liqueurs. We're going to be starting with maraschino cherry.
One of the most common things I'm asked about this is, do I say maraschino? Do I say maraschino? What gives? And the answer is, I don't know. I've been told different things by many different producers. A little bit about the history of maraschino as liqueur and as a style of cherry. It's actually derived from the Czech original company Maraška. And Maraška was a producer of cherries, and Girolamo Luxardo, whose name should be pretty famous and recognizable to you, he kind of took his ball and went home to Italy and started up Luxardo and split off from that company. Now, maraschino as a liqueur is using that style of cherry, that very dessert-like cherry immersed in syrup. You use maraschino liqueurs in a lot of classic cocktails, but it's actually kind of rare for people to try to break it down on its own. And that's what we're all about, is what each individual spirit in your cocktail does and why you should pick one brand over another, what they highlight and what they bring down. So give this a try. I'm curious what you pick out of this. And I forgot to mention, this is the Leopold Brothers Maraschino Liqueur. They are a Denver-based distillery. They make a lot of really cool stuff. And can you name a cocktail that maraschino liqueur is in?
Aviation?
Heck yeah, aviation. What else is in there?
That's the only one I know.
Okay, that's good. It's a key component though. So aviation is gin, lemon juice, creme de violette, and maraschino liqueur, and a maraschino cherry. And it's named in aviation because when you mix all those together, hopefully it turns out to be a really pretty sky blue. The maraschino liqueur is going to bring you a lot of the sweetness that's in that cocktail, and obviously some really nice high cherry notes. Did you pick out anything else in there?
Well, I know it might be really shocking, but the main note I noticed was cherry.
Yeah. You know, for me, what I like the most about Leopold Brothers Maraschino Cherry Liqueur is that when you try the other ones, they taste like candy. They taste like a lot of sugar and a little bit of cherry, almost like sweet tarts or like Necco wafers, you know, those little sweethearts that say be mine or whatever. That's usually what I get out. With this one, it tastes like a real cherry. I can get a little bit of the bitterness of a stem. There's a little skin to it. It's definitely much more of like the real fruit while still being a sweet liqueur that's got a lot of sugar to it, which will help you balance out cocktails. So this is a really good way to punch up any of those classic cocktails that use maraschino. Really good stuff. Any other notes on this one?
Herbs?
Herbs.
Yeah.
It's more just the full fruit, I think. It's really just that as a whole fruit.
The pit?
Yeah, the pit maybe. Yeah, cool. All right, so this is Leopold Brothers Rocky Mountain Blackberry Liqueur. Blackberries do grow in the Rocky Mountains. This is particularly cool. Leopold Brothers is a local distiller, as we've said, and they're using local ingredients, which is always a really cool way to highlight a style of liqueur. Blackberries in a liqueur, there's a couple of really popular cocktails. I'm gonna put you on the spot again. Anything you can think of?
Nothing. Oh, wait. There's a whiskey drink that has blackberry in it.
Yeah,
What is
usually
it called?
smashes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a bourbon smash.
Yes.
Well done. Heck yeah. So yeah, blackberry liqueur will often be in some kind of smash. I think that you can use blackberry liqueur in something like a Singapore Sling as well if you want to get really complicated, but that would be subbing out traditional ingredients. We wanted to highlight this one because a question I get asked a lot is, why are these so expensive? Why is it $35 to get just one bottle of blackberry liqueur? It takes 4 pounds of blackberries to make this spirit. It's a lot. 4 pounds of blackberries, if you went to a grocery store and spent it, you'd probably spend more than 40 bucks getting that. So for it to all be reduced down and then added to an artisanal product and have it be bottled and shelf stable because it's a liqueur and it's over 20% alcohol, it's kind of a way to have blackberry syrup around forever. And I often tell people when they're looking for a specific syrup, you could just buy the liqueur of it and then it won't go bad on you. And generally people are like, wow, that's a great idea. I'm using it in an alcoholic drink anyways. Obviously, if you're avoiding alcohol, don't buy the liqueur as a syrup. So let's try this out. That's very tart. That's awesome. So I may have misspoken a little bit earlier. This does have a warning on the back that it takes 60 to 120 days to go bad. And that's probably just because of the sheer amount of actual natural juice and fruit that's in here. Oftentimes with liqueurs, depending on its percentage of alcohol, and depending on how much sugar and natural ingredient is in there, it'll go bad. You can always refrigerate this stuff, and I highly recommend refrigerating any of the liqueurs that you have if you want them to keep for a long time. Otherwise, keep them in a cabinet, dark and cool. They'll probably still be okay, but it's not got as long a shelf life as a full-on spirit. Yeah. Did you pull out anything cool from that?
The main note was definitely blackberry.
The schnozberries taste like schnozberries.
The strawberries taste like strawberries. The snozberries taste like snozberries.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan. One of my main drinks that I've ever done with this particular blackberry liqueur is doing this, a ginger liqueur and a bourbon, with a little garnish of candied ginger because I just really like ginger. But it gets pretty sweet.
This would be good on vanilla ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be so good.
Put it on some vanilla ice cream or just like blend it up, make a lethal milkshake out of it.
That would be really good.
It'd be pretty good.
How are fruit liqueurs made?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, fruit liqueurs can be made a variety of different ways. Most commonly, you find that they take the full fruit, everything in the fruit, including the stems, all of that, and they just smash it into a neutral spirit. And from our talk about vodka earlier, neutral spirit is
Flavorless.
flavorless. That's right. That's easy. Come on.
Clear.
95% alcohol by volume, right? Because at 95% alcohol by volume, it extracts out. Alcohol is really good at drawing out all the natural components, all the flavors, all of that. So you've got your basically a vodka before it's made drinkable for human consumption, and you smash in all of your fruits. And like I said, it's the full fruit. Some people pride themselves on having not just like a little bit of the stem left, but all the leaves, all the other stuff. Because in a liqueur, you're going to be adding sugar just to make it a liqueur. You want to have as much of what makes that plant taste that way as possible. And that goes for most of the artisanal crafted liqueurs. Yeah, with this one, they say that they use 4 pounds of blackberries. I'm guessing they just dump a bucket into a vat and let it steep for a long time. Really extract all that flavor out and then bottle it up.
So I know a lot of people are concerned about their sugar consumption, and if somebody's drinking alcohol, that's probably not going to be their main concern. But I know you can get sugar-free like creamers for your coffee.
Totally.
If that's a worry, could somebody have a sugar-free liqueur?
Absolutely not. Unfortunately, there is just no way to reduce the caloric value of almost any alcoholic product. Now, when you see those things out there that are like lower sugar, look at the alcohol content. It's also lower. That's because in order to get a lower calorie is just a measurement of the ability for it to be metabolized and burned. You can burn alcohol pretty easy. It's still got a caloric content that's intrinsic to everything that's alcoholic. That is the main reason why nutritional facts are not listed on most bottles of spirit. Liqueurs in particular are going to be very, very high in sugar. The next highest thing in sugar that we have on our shelves is creme, and you'll see that written on pretty much all fruit liqueurs from France. You'll see creme de Dijon, creme de cassis, creme de menthe. That is actually an order of magnitude of sugar concentration that's even higher than just a standard liqueur. I'm not sure if the Leopold brothers are at the level of creme with this. I would like to believe that Todd would probably put creme on there if he could. And he was probably not aiming for that because they're much more about that whole natural, make it taste like the actual thing that it's supposed to taste like.
Yeah.
Yeah, great question.
Thanks for watching Flight School today. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and ask your questions in the comments.